Here is a short video on EMG's FLA3 fault passage indicators. For better understanding about the product, let's first look into some basic terminologies and then get into details. Different types of faults. Faults are mainly short circuit faults and earth faults. Further, faults can be permanent faults, temporary faults, and transient faults. Permanent faults. These are faults that occur and remain until they are identified and repaired. On a permanent fault, the circuit breaker will necessarily trip. Example of a permanent fault is a tree falling on electrical lines causing a short circuit. Temporary faults. These are faults that occur and get cleared instantly. Depending upon the circuit breaker's response time, it may or may not trip on temporary faults. Example of a temporary fault is a momentary short circuit due to high wind. Transient faults. Transient faults are normally not real faults. Harmonics in electrical systems appear as transient faults. An industrial feeder will see spikes in the line current during the switching of heavy motors. This is an example of a transient fault. Different types of reset. When a fault passage indicator trips on a fault, there are several ways of resetting it. Manual reset. To manually reset a tripped FLA3 indicator, one should go to the site and use the remote control, type HS, and manually reset the indicator. Second one is the timed reset. FLA3 has an option of resetting after a predefined duration of time. This time duration can be adjusted at site using the remote control. And this time duration can vary from 30 minutes to 12 hours in steps of 30 minutes. And then is the automatic reset. If automatic reset is enabled, the FLA3 indicator will reset itself automatically once the circuit is repaired and the circuit breaker has been successfully charged. Working principle of FLA3 fault passage indicators. FLA3 indicators constantly monitor the line current by way of built-in current transformers. Once the value of the current in the line crosses a predefined threshold, the indicator starts indicating the faults. This is a very brief understanding about the way FLA3 fault passage indicators work. Remote control type HS. The remote control is used for testing the FLA3 indicators and configuring the FLA3 indicators at site. Once the FLA3 indicators are configured, remote control is certainly not required for normal operation of the FLA3 indicators. As such, it is sufficient if each division or each maintenance team has one remote control with them. The remote control can also be used to view the value of the line current during no fault condition. Trip current. Trip current is the threshold value of current beyond which the FLA3 will start flashing and indicate a fault. Value of this trip current can be adjusted at site using the remote control, and this can be from 40 amps to 1500 amps in steps of 20 amps. Further, there is also an option of automatic setting for the trip current. If the automatic setting is selected, the FLA3 indicator will automatically adjust the value of the trip current depending upon the value of the load current. In this option, the trip current will be 150% to 500% of the load current as selected by the user. Response delay. Once a fault occurs, the circuit breaker takes some time to sense the fault and trip the circuit. This is in the order of few milliseconds. This means that the fault current will exist in the circuit during this short period of time. The FLA3 indicator must be adjusted to operate properly in the circuit by matching its sensing time with the circuit breaker's sensing time. This is the response delay. FLA3's response delay must be less than or equal to that of the circuit breaker. Response delay can vary from 40 milliseconds to 300 milliseconds in steps of 20 milliseconds. Locations for installation of FLA3 indicators. It is recommended to install FLA3 indicators in all cut points, that is, locations where the trunk line branches out. It is more meaningful to install the FLA3 indicators right after the isolators or the AB switches, so that once the faulty segment is identified, the same can be quickly isolated. FLA3 must be installed one per each phase. That is, for a three-phase system, 3 numbers of FLA3 indicators must be installed in each location. Further, the FLA3 indicators, being current-sensitive devices, can be installed on all voltages up to 66 kV, starting from as less as 440 volts. They can be installed on ACSR and AAC conductors from 10 mm diameter to 28 mm diameter. This covers most of the common conductors like dog, wolf, panther, etc. Optionally, FLA3 indicators are also available for conductors of up to 40 mm outer diameter. FLA3 numbering. FLA3 indicators are numbered from 1 to 9. The number is clearly marked on the indicator. The marking is sufficiently large that it is visible from a distance. Reason for this numbering is to give the option of various settings to the customer. Using the remote control type HS, the FLA3 indicator can be configured as required. To address each indicator separately, the FLA3 has different numbers from 1 to 9. Normally, only 3 indicators are installed in each location. In few cases, if the main line is branching into 2 sets of branches, 6 numbers of FLA3 indicators are installed. In very few cases, a maximum of 9 indicators are installed in one location. At any given location, even if there are 3 branches, one will have to address a maximum of 9 indicators only. The range of the remote control is approximately 100 feet or 30 meters. So, practically there is no possibility of 2 locations coming within the range of the remote control, and therefore the numbers on the FLA3 are limited to 9. It is essential that at any given location, the FLA3 numbers must not repeat. However, it is not mandatory that they are in sequence. Now, let's understand how to use the remote control and how to configure the FLA3 indicator using the remote control. The FLA3 indicator works in 2 modes. One is the fault indicating mode, which is its normal mode, and second one is the programming mode. Whenever we wish to access the indicator using the remote control, we have to bring the FLA3 indicator from fault indication mode to programming mode. That is done using the remote control. On the remote control, we see 4 buttons. The upper 2 buttons are for scrolling up and scrolling down, or the navigation buttons. And then there are 2 buttons labeled OK and Cancel. Pressing OK continuously for 2 seconds will switch on the remote control, and pressing Cancel continuously for 2 seconds will switch off the remote control. Now, the remote control is switched on. First, we have to bring the indicator from fault indication mode to programming mode. This is done by waking up the indicator. Waking up the indicator will bring the indicator in communication with the remote control. Here are the navigation keys where we can scroll. So we come to the wake up option, and to select the wake up option, we press OK. Once we select to wake up, we can just observe the indicator, and we observe one LED flashing. This means that the indicator is now in the programming mode, and the indicator can now communicate with the remote control. After we see the indicator woken up, we press Cancel once to come back to the main menu. In the main menu, we have various options which we will understand one by one. Here we have an option to test the FLA indicator, the FLA3 indicator. We come to Test and press OK to test the indicator. As soon as we press Test, we see that the flag is turned on and all the LEDs start flashing. This is the way a fault is indicated. So this means that the FLA3 indicator is working properly. So to come back to the main menu, we press Cancel. Now we are in the main menu. We can perform a manual reset by choosing the reset option in the main menu. We come to Reset, and to do the reset, we press OK. As soon as the reset is pressed, the indicator is reset. We press Cancel to come back to the main menu. Once we reset the indicator will go back to the fault indication mode. To continue the configuration, we have to once again bring the indicator from fault indication mode to the programming mode. This is done by waking up the indicator. Now we choose the wake up option and press OK to wake up the indicator. And we wait for the indicator to wake up. Now we see that the indicator has woken up. We press Cancel and we come to the main menu. We have seen what is reset. We have seen what is test. Next is to program. So we come to program. We press OK to select to program the indicator. In program, further you can see the down arrow here, meaning that there are options to browse for. There are many options that can be programmed in the FLA indicator, FLA3 indicator. The first option is Adjust All, means that we can adjust all the parameters in one shot. Alternatively, there are options to adjust the trip current, response delay, reset time, automatic reset, automatic reclosure, transient fault indication separately. Now we see this one by one. We come to Adjust All. So the first option is the trip current. What is the value of the trip current we would like to have? It can be 1500, it can be any value between 40 to 1500 amps in steps of 20 amps, or it can alternatively be automatic also, as explained earlier. So To make it automatic, we choose auto and say OK. Then the percentage, we keep it as 200% of the load current as our trip current. Then response delay. We have now understood what is response delay, and this depends on the breaker sensing time. So we keep it at 40 milliseconds by scrolling and press OK. The next option is the reset time. Reset time is for the timed reset. This can be anywhere between 30 minutes to 12 hours depending upon the location and other requirements. So we select 240 minutes and say OK. Then this is automatic reset. Do we want the automatic reset? If we want it, we have it on, or we can have it off also. Now we will keep it on and say OK. Then automatic reclose. Do we have auto reclosures in our system? If we do not have, we say off. If we have automatic reclosures, we say on. And if we say on or off, we have to choose the option by pressing OK. So if we have automatic reclosure, what is the time? We can have it up to 3 minutes. So we will have it at 180 seconds. Then default is the temporary fault. Do we want to have temporary fault enabled or disabled? We have an option here. We can choose on or off. We keep it off and select OK. Then the transient fault. Do we want to have it on or off? We have the choice and we keep it off. And then we press OK. Here we have to select the FLA number to which we have to feed all the settings. For example, here we have FLA3 number 8. So we have to navigate here and choose FLA3 number 8, and then we press OK to program the indicator. But now what we observe is the wake up indicator, the wake up LED that was blinking is now switched off. This happens because the FLA3 indicator has an automatic setting. If we forget to send it back to the fault indication mode within 180 seconds, it switches back to its work of doing fault indication. So we have to now once again wake up the FLA3 indicator by going to the main menu. We wake up the indicator. We wait for the indicator to wake up. It can take up to 1 minute or even 1.5 minutes for the indicator to wake up, depending upon the number of indicators around. Yes, the indicator is now woken up. And now we come down, reset is over, test is over, program, okay. We wanted to adjust everything. Trip is auto, trip percentage is 200%. We had set a response delay of 40 milliseconds, a reset time of 240 minutes. We wanted the automatic reset to be on. We wanted the automatic reclosure to be present in the system. Rather, we have told the indicator that the automatic reclosure is present in the system, and the reclosure time is 180 seconds. We do not want temporary faults. We do not want transient faults to be indicated. We press OK. The FLA3 we have with us here is number 8. So we choose number 8, press OK. And all the settings have been now updated in the FLA3 indicator. And we get a message sending OK. We press OK. And now we have the option to send the same settings to FLA3 number 9. As we do not have the indicator FLA3 number 9 here, we press cancel and we come back to the programming menu. In programming menu, the first one we saw was to adjust everything. If we come down, we can adjust only one of the parameters if required. For example, we have switched off the transient fault indication. We can come to the transient, say OK, choose on, say OK, and our indicator number is 8, say OK, and we have now switched on only the transient in indicator number 8. We press cancel to come to the program menu. Once again we press cancel to come to the main menu. Now we have seen wake up, we have seen reset, we have seen test, program is over, main current. This is an option to view the value of the current flowing in the line when there is no fault. We come to the main current and we come to the current option in the main menu and press OK to see the value of the current. Now again, we have to select the FLA3 number in which we would like to see the current. We say 8 and say OK. We get 0 amperes here because there is no current flowing in indicator number 8. If this was in a line and if there was a current, this would indicate directly in amperes. Now to go to the main menu, we press cancel, cancel. Now we are back in the main menu. Then coming down again, main remote. This is something to do with the SCADA settings and not for a standalone system. So we ignore this. Then we come down. This has get set. Get set is to see all the settings that are already there in the indicator. Maybe the indicator has been set by somebody else in the department and we don't have to do the settings once again. So before we change the settings, we can see what is the settings by choosing the get set options. We press OK and we would like to see settings of which indicator? Indicator number 8. Say OK. The trip current is 1973, which means that it is in automatic mode. Any value above 1500 amps here means that it is in the automatic mode. We press OK. We have the response delay 40 milliseconds. Once again we press OK. Reset time 240 minutes. Automatic reset is switched on. Automatic reclosure is switched on. Our reclosure time is 180 seconds. Temporary fault is switched off. Transient fault is switched on. It is working properly even for the SCADA mode. The battery is good. The flag is good. This is the software version, the firmware version in the indicator. And then we can continue to view the settings of indicator number 9. If we do not have the indicator number 9, we press cancel. Now we have seen everything. We have done the programming. And now we must understand that the FLA3 indicator with the wake up LED still flashing means that this is not in the fault indication mode. Before we leave the place, we must put it back into the fault indication mode, for which we have to reset the indicator. We come to the main menu, the reset option, press OK. We see that the flashing LED is now switched off, which means that the indicator is now in fault indication mode. We press cancel for 2 seconds and we are done. Now let's see how to view the value of the line current using the remote control. We have a signal generator or a current generator here, and we have connected a FLA3 indicator numbered 6 on a dog conductor with the current generator. This current generator can generate up to 120 amps of current. For the purpose of demonstration, we will slowly inject a current into the FLA3 and parallelly we will observe how the remote control will show us the value of the current. First, we switch on the remote control and then we have to wake up the indicator to start communication. Once we give the wake up signal, we observe that the wake up LED is flashing telling us that the FLA3 is ready for communication. We now press cancel and come to the main menu, and in the main menu we navigate to current, and to select this option we press OK. Here we have FLA3 number 6, so we navigate to number 6 and we press OK. Now we have got the FLA3 communicating with us and showing the value of the current in the line. Now we will slowly switch on the current generator. The current generator is now switched on, and I will slowly increase the value of the current from 0 all the way up to 120 amps. You may observe this is being displayed in the remote control. Like this, the value of the line current can be viewed in the system by going near the FLA3 indicator using the remote control. I once again come down so we can see that the value is now reducing. I'm coming down quite quickly, and 0. The FLA3 indicators can be integrated with our communication system and can be completely monitored and controlled from a control center or even on a GSM phone. Once integrated with the communication system, information about faults will be automatically sent to predefined GSM numbers. All actions performed using the remote control can be performed using a smartphone. For more details, log on to our website www.amptrial.com. Thank you.